The dragon empire of Karos measured worth in fire. Beauty was flame symmetry. Power was wingspan. Honor was how loudly the sky trembled when you took flight. Anything that did not burn bright was quietly cast into shadow. That was why Princess Zyra had never been allowed to stand beside her father. Dragon Emperor Vaelga the World Scorcher ruled from a floating citadel of obsidian and living magma. His other daughters, sleek, radiant, crowned with crystalline horns, were legends across star systems. They led armadas, incinerated enemies, and inspired worship. Zyra did none of those things. Her scales were dull charcoal instead of gold. One wing was malformed, shorter than the other, its membrane scarred from birth. Her horns curved unevenly, and her fire glands produced only faint blue embers instead of roaring infernos. Among dragons, she was whispered about as the mistake. Among courtiers, she was called worse. On the day Vaelga finally decided to rid himself of embarrassment, he laughed as he made the decision. "Send her to the human," he said, claws tapping his throne. "As payment. Or a joke. I care not which." The human was a mechanic named Aaron Hale, and he lived at the edge of civilized space. Beginning, a gift meant to humiliate. Aaron Hale had fixed warships that should have been scrap, stations collapsing into stars, and alien tech manuals written by species with 4 hands and no concept of right angles. He was good at broken things. That was why the Dragon Empire contacted him. The transmission came without warning, imperial seals blazing, translators humming nervously. "Human mechanic," the Dragon Envoy rumbled. "The Dragon Emperor offers payment for your service." Aaron frowned. "Payment for what service?" "For repairing the Emperor's planetary shield network. You completed the task 3 cycles ago." Aaron scratched his beard. "I was already paid." "This," the envoy said, "is additional." The hollow projection shifted. A young dragon stood alone on a platform, wings folded tight. She was smaller than expected. Uneven. Her eyes were a deep, anxious blue. "She is his daughter," the envoy said flatly. "Princess Zyra. Consider her yours now." The transmission cut. Aaron stared at the empty air. "You can't just give someone a person," he muttered. Behind him, his workshop alarms flared as a dropship entered atmosphere. Minutes later, Zyra stood awkwardly at the entrance of his hangar, clutching a small satchel. I was told you are my owner now," she said quietly. Aaron winced. "Nope. Absolutely not. I don't own people." Her eyes flickered with confusion. "Then why was I sent?" Aaron looked at her. Really looked. Not at flaws, but at the way she held herself like she expected to be struck. The way her tail curled defensively. The way her wings trembled, as if bracing for ridicule. He sighed. "Come inside. We'll figure it out." For the first time in her life, no one laughed at her arrival. What dragons call weak, humans call worth saving. Zyra expected cruelty. She expected mockery, chains, commands. Instead, Aaron handed her a mug of heated synth tea and pointed to a chair reinforced for non-human weight. "You hungry?" he asked. She blinked. "You are feeding me?" "Yeah. That's usually how guests work." "No one ever called me that," she admitted. Aaron learned quickly that Zyra had never been taught much beyond basic obedience. She knew nothing of navigation, culture, or even her own biology beyond what had been used to compare her to others. She learned faster than anyone he had ever met. She could feel energy flows through machinery instinctively. Where others saw wires, she sensed imbalance. When an engine hummed wrong, she flinched before alarms sounded. How did you know that stabilizer was failing? Aaron asked one day. Zyra hesitated. Dragons, we feel resonance. But I was never allowed near important systems. They said my presence disrupted aesthetics. Aaron snorted. That's the dumbest engineering critique I've ever heard. She stared at him. You're not angry. Why would I be? Because I ruined things. Aaron shut down the engine and turned to face her fully. No, he said firmly. You notice things others ignore. That doesn't ruin anything. That saves lives. Something inside Zyra cracked. No dragon had ever told her that. Weeks turned into months. Zyra helped Aaron repair ships across the sector. She learned human humor, slowly. She learned to choose her own clothes instead of ceremonial armor meant to hide her shape. And she learned that Aaron spoke to machines the same way he spoke to her. With patience. With respect. With the belief that broken did not mean worthless. One night, as they watched a blue star rise over the docking ring, Zyra spoke softly. My father sent me as a joke, she said. To shame you. Aaron leaned against the railing. Yeah, figured. You are not ashamed. He looked at her. Zyra, you're the most capable partner I've ever had. Her claws trembled. I was told no one would ever choose me. Aaron smiled gently. Guess they were wrong. Climax, when fire meets steel. The Dragon Empire arrived without warning. Imperial cruisers darkened the stars. Veilga himself descended, wings blotting out the light. I have come to reclaim my daughter, the Dragon Emperor declared, voice shaking stations. The joke has grown tiresome. Zyra froze. I failed, she whispered. I knew this would happen. Aaron stepped forward. She's not a thing you loaned out, he said calmly. She's a person. And she's staying if she wants to. Veilga laughed, a sound like continents breaking. You dare challenge a Dragon Emperor for that? He pointed at Zyra. A malformed disappointment. Zyra lowered her head. Aaron didn't. You call her ugly because she doesn't burn the way you like, he said. But she keeps engines stable under pressure your fleets can't handle. She saves ships you'd sacrifice without blinking. Veilga's eyes narrowed. She is weak. Then explain this. Aaron activated the station logs. Every saved vessel. Every stabilized reactor. Every crew alive because Zyra noticed something no one else did. Silence spread through the fleet. Zyra looked up slowly. She chose this life, Aaron said. And I choose her. Veilga studied his daughter for a long moment. Something unfamiliar flickered in the Emperor's gaze. You would abandon Empire, he said to Zyra, for a human mechanic. Zyra took a breath. Yes. The word didn't shake. It freed her. Veilga turned away. So be it, he said coldly. You are no daughter of mine. The fleet withdrew, and Zyra did not chase them. Ending what was always wanted. Life didn't become perfect, but it became real. Zyra and Aaron built a mobile repair platform together. Word spread, not of a dragon princess, but of a team that fixed the impossible. Zyra modified her own wing supports, not to hide the damage, but to fly in her own way. Her fire never grew stronger, but her control became legendary. She stopped trying to be beautiful by dragon standards. Aaron never asked her to be anything else. One quiet evening, as they watched ships drift past the viewport, Zyra spoke. My father said no one would ever want me, she said softly. Aaron looked at her, grease on his hands, stars in his eyes. He was wrong about a lot of things. She smiled, not shyly, not fearfully, but with certainty. The Dragon Emperor had sent his ugly daughter as a joke. What he never understood was that she was exactly what the human mechanic had always wanted. Not fire, not power, but someone real.